Hi, hello, and welcome back to CRICSTATIC Season 3, powered by Wannabe, an exclusive buyers-only listing portal. I am Dasmay Krishnan, the creator and host of this podcast, and I couldn't be more enthralled to welcome you all back to another exciting episode. And I say this because the match that we witnessed yesterday was nothing short of exciting. It wasn't as exciting as we expected it to be. It wasn't the usual thriller that the IPL throws, especially since Punjab Kings was in the mix. But it was nevertheless a good game of cricket. You've got to say that. The Lucknow Super Giants versus the Punjab Kings, and it was a game I've been looking forward to because both these sides haven't found the stability that they needed, I felt. But now looking at this game, I think the Lucknow Super Giants will be a little satisfied with the way they went, and the Punjab Kings can hold their head high. I mean, the bowling, yes, they didn't do as well with the ball, but I think they'll be a little happy with the way that batsmen have come about. They've come back to form, so maybe in the long run, you never know, throughout the season, Punjab can spoo one of the greatest comebacks. I mean, we're still in the early games of the IPL. Only 2 games for, I think, Punjab now. So there's a lot of scope for them to bounce back. I think 3 now with the Lucknow Super Giants. So let's get into this analysis without any further ado. The way Quinton de Kock started off for Lucknow Super Giants, it was great to see that not the typical Quinny innings you would associate. When you think of Quinton de Kock, the first thing I think is power play runs. The first thing that I think of when I paint a picture of MS Dhoni is captaincy and CSK. The first image I paint of Quinton de Kock is going for runs after ball. And 54 of 38. Again, it's probably because of the image that he has created that we are so used to seeing Quinny come out and going for runs and batting at a strike rate of surplus of 150. Then 140 looks even a drop or a degrade from what he has gone through usually. But nevertheless, it was a fantastic innings from Quinton de Kock. He used the bat angle wonderfully. There are a lot of people who will not understand what I'm trying to imply here. But on a few occasions, he opened the face of the bat and let the ball fly over the fence because he knew he's got to exploit the power play. After that, it's going to become a little hard, which it didn't. But at that time, the perception had to be like that. So I'm absolutely for Quinton de Kock's innings. Unlucky to get out in the fashion that he did. A little shot into the surface, always hard to hit that ball. But the way he played was exceptional to see. He used his leg side game to good power this time. Very, fidgety with regard to his feet movement. He moved outside the off stump and even swept a few. He got a few to go down the fine leg boundary, played a few straight down the ground, played a few off the offside. So he's a fantastic player to watch, as I've already said. But now coming on to his partner KL Rahul, 15 of 9, but the intent was nice. The intent that I've seen from KL Rahul is the intent that I want to see in the T20 World Cup as a middle order batsman. And I say this because the only slot open for KL Rahul, in all honesty, is the middle order. Whether you make 600 or 700 runs, I don't think the management is keen to open with KL Rahul ahead of someone who has probably a diploma in opening the innings and just making the opposition run away in Yashasvi Jaiswal. And I think they'll also be probably more inclined towards going for Virat and batting Jaiswal at 3. Imagine Virat and Rohit opening at New York versus Pakistan. Goosebumps as I say that, but that's going to be a reality that I'm looking forward to. I think that's my prediction, that Virat might open with Rohit in this T20 World Cup. But I think KL has got to start batting in the middle order because the only slot available for you is to play in the middle order. And the IPL is not a medium for you to go and make runs. It's a medium for you to make runs in a notion in which you can say that, okay, this is a stepping stone for me to make re-cement my spot in the car for the country, or to cement a spot in the country, or to make a debut. So there's got to be some thought process like that behind the decision. But I felt KL Rahul batting in the opening, I don't think there's a lot of lucrative for him as a player personally. But I think as a wicketkeeper, yes, it's going to add a lot to his roster, because if KL Rahul keeps, then automatically you're adding another element onto the competition. You have Rishabh Pant, who's made his comeback, but I don't think he looks likely for the World Cup. But if he has a great IPL after this, I mean, he's a showman, as I've said in one of my YouTube shorts. Give it a watch. But you have Sanju Samson as well. So Sanju Samson is definitely in contention. He's looking in red hot form, right? So I think Sanju will turn it on definitely one of these days with a good 100. And then you have Jitesh Sharma. He's not at the best IPL as of now, but again, he's in consideration. He's got the contract, so you never know. Ishan Kishan, we saw 34 of 12. I think he did score versus SRH in the highest run scoring game in the IPL history. So you never know. Kishan can be in consideration if he has a great IPL. So you have a lot of wicket keeping options just coming up and up and up. So you need someone to come in and say, you know what, I'm a very reliable batter. I have all the experience. I've gone to a few T20 World Cups. I know how to handle the pressure. That's KL Rahul. So I'm hoping that KL Rahul does get a spot in the World Cup as a number 5, because there's no other slot that seems feasible. And now coming on to the next player, Devdutt Padikkal has got to open the batting instead of Rahul. I've said enough about that. And then coming on to the next big innings from Lucknow Super Giants, it's Nicholas Puran. I remember predicting Nicholas Pooran in one of my earlier videos as the highest, who will finish with the highest number of sixes in the IPL, and it's because every time he comes out to bat, he comes out with an intent to score runs. Despite whether you're 30 for 3 or you're, let's say, a hypothetical situation of 200 for 2, Nicholas Pooran walks out, he's saying, you know what, I'm just going to go for the runs, because that's exactly what he does to his best potential. He comes out and goes for the runs from ball one. The way he uses his feet, the way he adjusts to the length, the way he sits down to sweep the ball, everything has got, a small quotient of finesse in it. He sits down, the way he sweeps the bowler is fantastic, the way he goes straight down the ground, despite not being a well-built lad, the way he goes straight down the ground, or probably it's just the scrawniness that I'm associating to West Indian players that I'm not able to associate with Nicholas Pooran. No offense to him, but I mean, he's a great player. I rate him extremely highly. Sir Vivian Richards rates him very highly as well. So I definitely feel that Nicholas Pooran holds key to Lucknow's chances. The more he fires, the better. He led the Lucknow Super Giants wonderfully in a chase that we thought was going to be a very easy one for the Punjab Kings after the 10-over stage. He marshaled his troops wonderfully. But I must say, he was too good, wasn't he? Nicholas Pooran with the bat, the few sixes that he hit straight down the ground, those were sensational to see. So I'm looking forward to more of Nicholas Pooran firing. And his head position while hitting the ball is remarkable. It's fixed right where he wants to hit. If he's hitting it down long on, it's fixed down and he goes for it. The eyes are always on the ball, but the head position remains still. Very hard nowadays. Only if your head remains still, it's like the fulcrum of your body. If your head remains still, then only you're able to go through with the shot. So that's very nice to see from Nicholas Pooran. Krunal Pandya providing the finishing prowess, 43 of 22. Great knock again. He's got to do that on a consistent basis. A few good sixes from him, in fact. And he's gone about his batting wonderfully, I feel, this tournament. I mean, coming out time and again and doing that for Mumbai Indians and now doing it for the Lucknow Super Giants. It's very nice to see, the hero of the 2017 IPL final as well. So I think Krunal Pandya firing towards the end is a big lucrative for the Lucknow Super Giants. The more he fires, the better. And he's got all the pedigree in the world, doesn't he? I mean, he's a very talented player. I thought he would be used ahead of Ayush Badoni, and Badoni could be that finisher. But I think that's even the better decision right now. It's a very similar example to Shahbaz Ahmed and Abdul Samad. Abdul should bat a position lower and Shahbaz should be promoted. So this is exactly the same case. In fact, very resonant with just name changes. So I must say that Krunal Pandya providing the finishing prowess that he is it's very, very, very lucrative for the Lucknow Super Giants. Coming on to the Punjab Kings bowling, somewhere I felt Manimaran Siddharth was fantastic in the first over, but second over, I mean, because of one boundary, I felt he lost the script immediately. That's what I got a little tangled by. I'm a huge Manimaran Siddharth fan. In fact, I even predicted his move to Lucknow Super Giants, knowing that the black soil surface will offer a turn for a change. So I thought Manimaran Siddharth is a definite move. And I think going to that franchise in Lucknow was an obvious move. But to see him take the new ball in the first over on your debut, great to see the way he bowled the first over, got the ball drift away, got the ball to come back in. You've got to pace him like a medium pacer. You've got to see him as another Anil Kumble with regard to finger spin. And he's someone who, I think he works on his pace and angles of delivery rather than focusing on the spin. So I think that's what he gives more poignant focus towards. And it's nice to see Manimaran Siddharth bearing the fruits of his efforts. I've personally seen him bowl in the nets, so I know exactly how much effort that he puts in behind every delivery, how much brain he puts in behind every delivery. So it's nice to see it come to life. And I'm addressing only the Lucknow bowling first, and then coming on. What a spell from this lad. Mohsin did bowl well, but I've been talking about Mohsin for a long period of time. He's got to play for the country. Left arm seamer who can bowl both at the death and with the new ball. Gets the ball to move both ways. Got the cutters in him. What are you waiting for, India? You've got to take Mohsin Khan if he's fit. But coming on to Mayank Yadav. Commendable spell there from Mayank. Brilliant bowling. He took me aback completely. The way he came in and, used his pace, extra pace to good advantage. He ran on to the batters, bowled it. I think the slowest delivery in that whole 4-over spell for, I think 23 runs for 3 wickets was 140, if I'm not mistaken, 140. And his fastest was 156. And to have Moni Mokal come in and pat your back and say, well bowled, young man, that speaks volume of the talent that this kid possesses. I'm really looking forward to Mayank Yadav. I'm really looking forward to the fast bowling core that is being shaped for the Indian team's future. I think 5 years down the line, we're going to be saying that Indian team is an equally good batting side and an equally good bowling side. We can't say that now. In all honesty, we can't say that with regard to a fast bowling contingent. I'm going to be very open about this right now, that we have a great fast bowling unit, but is it as good as Australia's? I don't think so. Better than England for sure, better than New Zealand for sure, but is it as good as Australia's? No. It's a big no for me because of one Jasprit Bumrah. we can't elevate our attack. Jasprit Bumrah is the best bowler the country has ever produced, probably the world number one currently. But when you have three bowlers of Mitchell Starc, Pat Cummins and Josh Hazelwood's pedigree, let's not judge Starc's IPL performance. I mean, you've got to just stay smitten by that attack. But coming back to Mayank Yadav, the way he uses length, the way he drops the ball like this, onto the surface, it becomes impeccably hard for a batsman to find the runs. Where do you find the runs? Are you going to try and find the runs square of the wicket? You just can't, because with the kind of extra pace that this lad possesses, it's always hard to even play the hook because of that hard length he was hitting. By the time you come for the hook shot, it's going to be flush on your gloves. So Mayank Yadav is a very exciting prospect. So is Harshit Rana, so is Vaibhav Arora, so is Mukesh Chowdhury. You've got so many fast bowling options to look forward to. The death bowling quotient that is shaping about is even more exciting. I think we can slowly break down Indian cricket's fast bowling unit and segment it according to their specialities. You look at the death bowling quotient. You've got Sandeep Sharma, Harshit Rana, who bowled a very good last over. I rate him very highly, as I'm saying this for probably the nth time. And then, of course, you have, with regard to death bowling, you've got Avesh Khan, who's nailing those wide Yorkers time and again. I never rated him highly, but now he's changing my perspective and verdict on him completely. And then you've got, of course, Vaibhav Arora. He's not played a game as of yet, but he's a scintillating bowler to watch if he's on song. Now you've got Mr. Mayank Yadav coming into the mix. Umran Malik, if he's able to bowl at a consistent pace in the middle overs, I think you've got Umran as well. T. Natarajan, capped, but looking forward to him donning it again. So T. Natarajan. So the death bowling quotient is shaping out wonderfully for the Lucknow Super Giants. But now coming on to the Punjab Kings, I'm not going to spend too much time on them, barring just one batter who again, time and again, the evergreen Shikhar Dhawan, the nicest person both off and on the field. 70 or 50, went bang bang from ball one. He did take his time on the first over. He looked very skeptical facing Manimar and Siddharth. He faced him like how he would face a right and Ashwin, not too much for the drift, but just for the angle of the delivery. But once he started, swinging both ways. I say swing for a spinner. I'm not wrong here. You can watch the highlights. It became very hard for Shikhar. And I think the way he played after that was fantastic. He used his feet wonderfully, moved outside the leg stump at few occasions. He shimmied down the track and went through the offside. So Shikhar Dhawan, the way in the form he is, and especially unlocking his form in his partner Johnny Bairstow, giving him the confidence, 42 of 29 or 43 of 29 if I'm not wrong. I think that knock also is going to propel Punjab's chances. The more these two begin to perform, the more these two propel their chances towards a good season for the Punjab Kings. The openers hold key because you've got a relatively inexperienced middle order in Livingston, Jitesh Sharma, Prabsimran Singh and Shashank Singh. Sam Curran, of course, is there, but he's got all the experience, but yet he's still young in age. He's not faced all types of bowling. So I think the openers hold key. You've got to hit 80 on a consistent basis. 60 to 80 is your range that you're looking for. So that Prabsimran Singh can give you that platform and say, you know what, you have given me the 60. Let me take that 60 to 100. Sam Curran can get it to 120, 130. Then from there, you've got to rely on Jitesh and Shashank to give you the next 40 to 50 runs on their surface. You'll at least need another 40 from Sam Curran because Punjab, the Mohali, the batting wicket that it is, you can't say too much about it. Mulanpur too impressed me a lot. So coming on to Liam Livingston now. I felt Livingston played a good knock, 28 of 17. And I'm going to talk with special key emphasis on Liam Livingston because I think Livingston holds keys to Punjab's chances. If you've seen, I'm talking about only the middle order. Prabsimran Singh, Liam Livingston, Shashank Singh, Sam Curran. All four are unable to make runs in the middle overs. They're all trying for the runs, but again, you can't do too much about it. The way Indian spin is growing as well, you just can't do anything about it. Not many spinners are not trying to turn the ball anymore. They're just trying to be economical and very defensive options. So they're bowling on the stumps, become very hard to find the shots. And in fact, they have a live example in Harpreet Brar in their lineup, Punjab Kings. But I think Liam Livingston has got to be that spin distractor. He's got to be the floater in the lineup. He's got to be Punjab Kings Shivam Dube. And I never thought I'd use Dube as an example, but I think it's about time that teams try to start finding that one player who can walk in at any position and decimate a given spin bowling contingent. And I see that in Liam Livingston in the Punjab Kings. He's got to do his role on a consistent basis. So let's hope that he does that. And now coming on to Sam Curran's bowling, I think the way he bowled was fantastic. He used the scanny cutters again. I really wish he was available for the Chennai Super Kings. What a lucrative he would have been. And he would have been an absolute steal deal. With those cutters into the surface, because it makes it very hard for the batsman to pull the ball or to even, it invokes the sense of a lot of tentativity. And I say this because the way he went about his shots, that is the LSG batters, they just got deceived by the change of pace. He bowled it into the surface, kept a deep square, kept a deep mid-wicket, so it became very hard for the batters. So Sam Curran is another very, very good option for Punjab Kings, who they can use as a spin over distractor as well. But with the ball, he's been nothing short of exceptional. And I think I've touched upon almost every single facet until and unless I missed out on something. And I think this episode too I enjoyed this episode. I enjoyed filming this. But your verdict is what matters the most. So please do leave a comment in the comment section. I would love to hear your thoughts. And with this, we conclude another enthralling and riveting episode of CRICSTATIC. Thank you so much for tuning in once again. I'm the creator and host of this podcast, Tasmai Krishnan. Have a great day. Until next time, ciao.